All right, You Can Heal family, here we are to day 20. So we are 2/3 of the way done pretty much with this challenge. Hopefully you are enjoying yourselves because I really am. I'm having a good time, you know, deciding on what I'm going to bring to you. And then as I'm sharing, I'm growing and I'm healing and learning too. So that's pretty cool. And I realized looking at this candle, I had to move it down so the hair didn't catch on fire while we're making this video, right? So that was just a little side note. I like candles. So, and then I scored these beautiful flowers because my mom just went on her honeymoon this morning. So I got to get my hands on those. But anywho, we are on day 20 and we're going to be talking about making a commitment to read. So I'm encouraging you to read, and this is not our Bible reading, but this is reading on a different level. This is reading so we can become really good at something and an expert in our area of expertise. And I was thinking about this because I was going really strong. And you know how you start doing something and you're like gung-ho and this is what I'm deciding on doing and I'm going to do it. And then you trail off. And I realized when I was in this habit of reading that I was doing better because I was exercising my mind, I was learning, and it helps me feel more confident in what I know. And if I'm going to be coming on this channel and sharing with you guys how to heal, I've got to be on top of things, right? I've got to be up to date with stuff. So I went to Barnes & Noble and first I Googled best books out there on trauma. And I've read several books over the last 7 years, and my goal is 2 books a month, and I was doing well with that, and that's how I accelerated my healing process from 30 years of trauma, 30, 35, 40 years of trauma, and being able to recover. So I found a book called The Body Keeps the Score by Bessel van der Kolk, and he is a really cool guy. He's a researcher, scientist, and he's a physician. So he did a lot of research and worked with a lot of vets to understand trauma. So I'm going through this book, but I haven't gotten very far. So I have to be honest with you. The book is this thick, and I've read this, not this side, but this side, I've read this many pages, which is progress. It's okay. But it's showing me that I'm not keeping my goal of 20 to 30 minutes of reading a day in an area that excites me. All right, so that's the idea for you on this day, on this 20th day of our challenge, is to find a book that makes sense for you, that will help you learn, that will grow your mind, and will allow you to, become that expert in that area that God's calling you to, and just in an area you want to grow in and do better in, and an area of healing. So, you're on this channel, so you might want to pick this up too. So I'll see what knowledge I can gain from it and pass along to you all. So that is the idea for today, is to be able to identify where you want to grow, how you want to exercise your mind, and find a book. Find a really good book and spend some time, so this can also carry over into some self-care time. Spend some time thinking about what it is you want, getting on your phone and looking up some titles, and maybe going to the bookstore like I actually did and browsing around in there and just being alone and finding something that's going to help expand you and grow you. This is very important to do because we think that we're just going to get better, or we're just going to heal, or we're just going to get good at something by thinking about it. But that's not going to work. You have to get into action, and you have to get a plan in place. So your first steps could be, identify what interests you, what excites you. Okay, then the next step could be write down, look up some titles of some books. Your next step could be plan the day you're going to go shopping for the book. And then we can back up a couple steps. You might need to put it in your budget. So if your book is going to cost you $10 or $20 or $30, don't spend out of your money that's allocated for other things. I'm learning that. Make sure that you can afford the book you're targeting and save up for it, so you have something to look forward to, and then go shopping and pick up your book. So I did buy this book out of money that is spendable money, right? Not out of money somewhere else. And just a side note, I keep bringing up the debt demolisher, but you guys, I'm telling you, head over there. And the reason I'm saying this is because for me, on my healing journey, I spent a lot of money on men. Yes, I did. I have to admit that. And this is important for me to share with you because you might have done it too. Because I didn't feel good about myself. So it made me feel like I was helping someone who really, oh geez, I don't want to speak for someone else, but I was doing something that degraded me really and made me not feel good about myself when I knew it was wrong, but it was what they wanted, and that's what happens when you're trapped in these relationships that aren't good for you. You're doing things that that are just so, gosh, I don't even know the word. It's kind of like you think, you're not doing the right thing, or I knew I wasn't doing the right thing, but it's what he wanted. It's what they wanted, so I did it. And this is how we get into debt. This is how our money gets all jacked up, right? This is how, our credit score gets lower. This is how we have late payments because we're doing things for someone else and putting our own selves in a bad place. So you might need to recover financially as you're going through this healing journey. So the debt demolisher is a good channel to be on for that. I'm not an expert in finances at all, but what I learned from her, I will pass on to you. But get it from her, it comes across really better. Plus, she's a lot of fun, and she sings to you. It's really good. So yeah, take some action steps in order to get your book so you can get better and you can grow in an area that makes sense for you. So go ahead and do that and just be free. And also I want to share on, I had a call with the debt demolisher and I got a blessing. I did. There's a beautiful woman on there who blessed me and I wasn't expecting it. And I think that when we are moving towards our greatness and we're trying to get areas of our life better, God honors that. He hears it and he'll use other people to nudge you along the way and to encourage you along the way and to help you, see that everything's okay. I've got you. And that's what the wonderful woman did for me. It was such a blessing. And not just me, I know she's going to get blessed, 100-fold or more back for her generosity. And, the host of the workshop, God bless, we all did. And we ended up singing, the Kurt Franklin song, Smile. So that was just a little side note on how my day went. But this video, again, is about setting aside time, 20 to 30 minutes a day to read a book that excites you, that's going to move you towards your purpose and your greatness, to build you up, to encourage you, and to let you know that it's okay to take the time to better yourself, even if you're right in the midst of the healing, you're right in the midst of the tears and the turmoil and not knowing, really who you are. You could be at that stage in your journey. And so that's why it's important to do this reading. I didn't do that during the midst of the storm, right? When I finally decided I was going to heal, I was all gung-ho in. But you might be at a state where you don't know if you should leave, you don't know if you should stay, you love him, you don't love him, you love her, you don't love her, whatever, right? So find a book and let it talk to you, let it lighten your day, let it be a time for you to just sit back and reflect on things. And it doesn't have to even be a super deep book. It can be something fun and light and funny, but appropriate. Okay, we don't want any books that are going to lead us into darkness, if you know what I mean. We want a good, wholesome book, all right? So find something good and just sit back, light a candle maybe, and make it a special time for you. Cozy up with your snuggle clothes on, your comfy clothes, your favorite hoodie, your favorite blanket, and, your favorite beverage, glass of water. If you have issues with a favorite beverage, maybe you want to, not choose that beverage. Maybe get a water with lemon or a Sprite or something. But again, as your coach, it's your choice what you drink. These are just suggestions. But the point is, find your book, find a spot, find a candle, and cozy up to it for 20 to 30 minutes a day. So this is like a challenge inside our challenge, you guys. I'm going to start, I actually started yesterday getting back into that because it's going to be part of my routine in the morning when I'm waking up. All right, and Tony Gaskins talked about this morning, saying, have that me time on the call he had today. And I'll link again Tony Gaskins up here somewhere on that screen for you. But it makes a lot of sense, because if you don't spend time with yourself, you're not going to know yourself. So you're not going to be able to make decisions for yourself to help you get in a better situation so you can heal. All right. So that's our video for today, you guys. Happy to serve you. Happy to be here with you. Leave me a comment if there's something you want to hear before our 30 days is up, and I'll make sure that I get the knowledge, if I don't already have it, to share it with you. All right, you guys, remember that true healing begins with self-love. Why? Because God is love. He loved you first. He's calling you. He lives on the inside of you. So if he loves you and he's living on the inside of you, why wouldn't you love you? All right, we'll talk soon. Bye.